Good morning, everybody. Trying to get my microphone going. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Can We Talk About It? Are we allowed to talk about the things that nobody else wants to say? Ooh-wee. This morning on X people are going crazy because Candace Owens said this on X. And this is probably the most fiery, intense thing Candace has said this entire investigation. Candace Owens posted about 2 hours ago. It's like 12:25 on the West Coast. Candace posted 2 hours ago, Lori Fronsvey is a fraud like the daughter she raised. This woman even divorced her third husband on paper only because she wanted to achieve business contracts designed for independent females. Larry Ginty and Candace meant she, because it's not Larry Ginta and her. Larry Ginta and she are still together. He takes care of her. Single mom where? Single mom where? She divorced Larry Ginta just so that she can get the contracts that are like single mom contracts. Fraudulent. Candace is not done yet. Then she says, every person who knows Lori describes her as vile and as someone who is willing to do anything for money and power. The curated videos of her in a wheelchair were likely directed by her. She's not done. For the record, the influencers who were instructed to tell you that Lori had terminal cancer were lying. There is not a shred of truth to that. Lori fashioned Erika's mind. She is crucial to understanding what, not who, what Erika is. Candace Owens went scorched earth on Twitter. And I've got to tell you, the people in the comment section are agreeing with her. They are agreeing with her. They are saying, listen, something's off with that lady. Something's off with this family. Now, if you think that's bad, I want you to take a little trip down memory lane. Do you remember how Erika kept saying, my mother's been sick for so long. My mother's been sick for so long. Well, lo and behold and lo, some internet sleuth found this. And what is this? These are articles of amendment to articles of organization. And if you look in the top hand corner, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for y'all. It says received on 4/18 and filed on 4/18/2025. Remember, Erika's mom has been sick, deathly sick, just very, very ill. Okay. So this is an LLC that was formed 4/18/2025. Pay attention. Former entity name, no name change. Character of business, any legal purpose. Okay, so then they have this placed in Phoenix. Okay, here we go. Principals. These are the people who are owning the LLC. Member, Larry Ginta. Okay, member, Michael Mallory. Member and manager, Brian Kennedy. Member and manager, Donald Hoffman. Member and manager, Lori Fronsvey. Date of taking office, 4/2/2025. So, either Erika's mom is not that sick, or she is so money hungry that she's still forming LLCs on her deathbed to make sure that she's covered for life. Yes. 4/1/2025. That was last year. That was 4 months, April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months before Charlie's assassination. She's very, very ill. She's very, very sick. Okay, she could be. But that means that she is okay with filing all of these LLCs randomly. She and her husband, who she divorced on paper so she could qualify. Listen, welfare fraud. Okay, they want to talk about welfare queens. That's what Lori is. She's a welfare queen, but the white collar kind. She is a welfare queen. Do you know why? Because she takes government money in the to the tunes of millions of dollars, welfare queen, and to the tunes of millions of dollars under the guise of being a single mother. She's no better than whoever, what everybody is calling welfare queens in the Black community. At least they're not taking millions of dollars from the government. At least they're not getting government contracts. Oh, I'm sick. I'm disgusted. I'm sick to my stomach. This is who she is. Now, we don't have any definitive proof that Lori Franzwe is not ill. We are taking Candace's word for it. Again, she doesn't, so it's not that she's not sick to some degree, but she doesn't have terminal cancer. That's a lie. But what we're seeing here is the kind of person that raised Erika, the kind of manipulative, you know, person who lacks morality, who lacks boundaries around doing the right thing. That's who we're talking about, right? And then under Candace's post, so Candace made this post on X this morning, and someone shared a very interesting video of Lori Franzwe, someone who looks like Lori Franzwe. Okay. And I want to share this with you guys. Someone was allegedly being stalked by Lori Franzwe on behalf of Charlie Kirk, not because Charlie Kirk asked her to, but likely because she was already scoping out Charlie for her daughter. Let's take a look at this. So this says, here is Erika Franzwe's mother, Lori Franzwe, who works in cybersecurity, tapped my phone, tracked my GPS location, and followed me into a North Scottsdale Trader Joe's in summer of 2019. She threatened me to stay away from Charlie when I knew him years before Erika did. That's what someone shared underneath the post, underneath this post. This is the kind of woman that she is. She is still forming LLCs. So again, either she's very, very ill and somebody else is doing this on behalf of her, or she's not as ill as people would like us to believe. And I'm willing to bet that if Candace Owens is saying this publicly, y'all, it's because she generally has a good hint on this. Like she has some good information that's backing this up. She has some good information that's backing this up. So that was like, Twitter is ablaze right now. X is ablaze. People are angry. They're calling, of course, they're calling for more cancellation of Candace Owens, and she's a horrible person. So I can't wait for the episode today because I guarantee you she's going to have evidence of this. And here's what I'm going to say, because I was looking at that video. I'm watching that video. Let me pull it up for you guys one more time. The video of her mom. Now, that was supposedly, allegedly, 6 years ago, and people can deteriorate massively. 6 years, in 6 years, people can deteriorate massively, but she looks generally healthy here. Now, people can get diagnosed with a terminal illness and be done, like, and within 18 months be completely deteriorated and ill and wheelchair bound. But she does look exceptionally healthy here. She looks exceptionally, able-bodied, mobile, etc. So it's very interesting that, that Candace is now coming out and saying Lori Franzwe is the fraud. She was these images of her in a wheelchair are curated. That's not even the same person. Essentially, people are questioning whether that's the same person. And then you have the LLC that was formed in April of 2025. It's like your God is money. Your God is money. Because you're dying supposedly, yet you're still forming LLCs. You are dying. That's what people are telling the internet. They're telling us that Lori Franzwe is on her deathbed, essentially. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but like I've had several people die, right? Like grandparents, uncles, cousins, right? And I promise you, they're not talking about their LLCs on their deathbed. They're making final preparations for, updating their will, or they can't even, if they're actually terminally ill, they can't actually form LLCs. So either Larry Ginta is using Lori Franzwe's name on these documents. Again, this document here shows that this LLC was formed 4/18/2025. They're updating things. They're updating things in April. For what? If you're dying, what are you doing? Like generally on your deathbed. And so here's the thing. Okay, again, you guys know I always play devil's advocate with myself. I just want to make sure that I'm not being crazy. You guys know this, right? Let's just pretend, let's pretend you're right. Let's pretend that this is nothing. I would have wanted to see a change in the names, in the positions of these people. But the fact that Lori Franzwe is member and manager is all I need to know. Perhaps they were changing it so that she's someone different, right? Maybe she's someone of the lesser title. But it looks like she has the title of manager along with the other three people. So it's not like she's anticipating, giving this LLC over to someone or removing herself from a position of power. No, it looks like she's actually given herself a title that indicates that she's a 30% owner or a third shareholder of this company. Like, be so honest. Be like, yes, Haley, I was blown away. Candace never disappoints though. But this right here, this is some foolishness. This to me tells me that that they are money hungry. This is all they care about. You're developing articles of organization and you're on your deathbed? That's what you guys are doing? Is this what people with millions and billions of dollars do? Okay, hold on. This is going to be, God forgive me. You love the Lord. God is your refuge and strength. But you're worried about money when you're about to go meet your maker? Allegedly? Supposedly? Miss me with that. Miss me with that garbage. Miss me with that. Every person who knows Lori describes her as vile, and is someone who is willing to do anything for money and power. She has set the internet ablaze with this. Now, if that's what you were here for, we're done with that. Okay, we are done with that portion. But Erika Kirk won't shut up. Okay, she won't shut up. She got on stage the other day. TPUSA had to edit her video because she started to sound like, she started to sound a little racist. So let's listen to this video that, TPUSA posted this and then they took it down. Now the only version I can find are the ones where she doesn't say what she originally intended. So let me pull that up for you guys. But yeah, absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. So this is the video that TPUSA doesn't want you to see. They have edited the video now, and so it's only available in this form.
Live in the greatest tree in the world.
I thought they were saying Lori had Lyme disease and not cancer. Yeah, yes, Jane, that's what I thought too. But apparently there was maybe in the conservative circles, they were told to say that she has cancer. But I thought she had Lyme disease too. And then I started going, okay, does Lyme disease do that to you? And then, okay, you guys ready for the sick part? You guys ready for the sick part? I was thinking, because sometimes when you have these diseases, if you basically stop taking your medication, the symptoms present more aggressively. They manifest more aggressively than if you take the medication. So what I was thinking is, oh, Lori just came off of her medication for a few days so that she could look ill and seem more ill than she actually is, so that Erika could take these videos. I know that's crazy. It's alleged. It's not true. It's just, this is just me in my own little, like, fantasy screenwriting world. This is how it would be. Stay off the medication for a few days so you can look crazy and look very ill, and then go back on it once we've taken all the videos. Regardless if Erika was brought up, she could have made her own decision to not be an absolute psychopath, manipulating, mooching, demonic being woman. As a Christian, she should change and denounce. Yeah. I mean, I think, okay, here's what I think. Candace Owens is giving Erika the benefit of the doubt right now, because every time she talks about Erika now, she talks about her in relation to how Lori raised her. Right. And I do think Candace has a soft spot with understanding her psychology, like, because Candace did a deep dive on psychology and Sigmund Freud. And I think that Candace has a deep compassion and soft spot for people who were raised by manipulative, psychotic parents, because you can be manipulated very easily, even into adulthood. And so there's a part of Candace where I'm noticing with her that she is giving Erika grace in the way that Erika is running a program that was given to her by her mother. And it's almost like she can't help it, but she could. So I noticed that with the way that Candace talks about Erika. It's not as vile as she talks about Lori, because it's almost like this poor girl was brainwashed and her family kind of, made her this way. So I do think that there's an element of helplessness with Erika that Candace sees, because, yeah, when your mother is brainwashing you from youth, taking you to looking glass schools and telling you stories that are not true, you don't know what to believe, you don't know what to say. And you watch, so here's the thing, you watch your mother be, conniving, manipulative, slippery, slimy, um, you know, getting in and out of certain circles, and then you just act that way because you don't know any different. Now, if you're a Christian, you should be able to, discern. That's the thing. It's like you should be able to discern that this is weird. Yeah, her demonic mom and family. She should be able to denounce her mom, and yes, she should be able to denounce her mom and her family and all those weird things that TPUSA is doing. And that's why I'm like, are you really a believer? Because you can't walk around thinking that this is okay. You can't. Why does Erika look different? I think it's because she's trying to look different. I think she wants to look like she's grieving. If I'm just being honest. Okay, so this TPUSA posted this video, but then cut out a certain part, and we're gonna watch it while she cuts out a certain part.
We live in the greatest tree in the world, the greatest country in the world. Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man.
Yes. Don't let anybody disenfranchise you because you're a young white male. TPUSA deleted this part of her speech. They took it out. All the posts you can find, it's gone. Why did you need to say that? People, again, the internet is in an uproar. Hold on, let's see. I know quite a bit about Lyme disease. It's highly controversial disease, first of all, for lots of reasons. It can be used as a cover easily because it can present in a million sets or a million different ways. Yes, that's what I know about Lyme disease. Also, like there's someone I follow on YouTube. He does he works with dogs, and he has Lyme disease, and he presents very differently than like Gigi Hadid, for example, who has Lyme disease, right? So you can say that you have Lyme, and then it can present itself in a million different ways, and then you're like, well, how do I know she actually has Lyme? You can just say you have cancer. You can say you have all kinds of things, because if it's allowed to, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jane, but if you let it sort of like do its thing without medication, then it can look very, very degenerative in a lot of ways. And there's medications and things for your Lyme disease, because I remember specifically Gigi Hadid. Is that the mom? I can't remember. Gigi Bella. Who's the mom? Whatever. The mom of those two girls. She was on Real Housewives of something, and she was like, okay, so this is what it looks like when I'm having like a I don't know what it's called, like an outbreak or I'm having a bad Lyme week. And she looked very ill. And I remember going, oh, wow, that looks really bad. But then she goes, okay, and this is what I'm like when I'm not presenting this way. So it's like Lori could very easily be having a bad week. And then Erika took the opportunity to like take advantage of that. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so back to this video. Erika's like, okay, thank you, Jane. One can look quite normal with a Lyme disease diagnosis, or you can look like you're dying. It's complicated. Cancer is easier for the public to understand. Yeah. And I think people have a feeling about cancer, like you could die from that versus Lyme disease. People don't have, it doesn't evoke the same reaction, right? If I say someone has Lyme, it's like, okay, well, there's ways to fix that or there's ways to deal with that. But we view as cancer as automatically terminal. And I think that's why people are easier to understand. Okay, so again, Erika Kirk
because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there.
Don't let anyone talk down to you because you are a strong white young male. Why did you need to say that? Why did you need to say that? I promise you, in America, nobody is genuinely talking down to white males. That is a talking point. That is a talking point, and it's a weird one at that, for her to be, especially because so there are a lot of people who believe that Charlie Kirk was racist, right? I think that this is such a bad PR move because in his latter days, Charlie seemed to me like he was pulling away from the racial talking points. He was pulling away from that. He was actually going more towards like values and social a class versus race. So pulling the race card is just old and tired. It's old and tired when Black people do it, and it's old and tired when Raggedy Ann looking white people do it too. It's old and tired. That's no longer a thing. It is a class issue. We have a class war going on. And I don't need some Raggedy Ann, disheveled blonde woman telling people that, oh, you're being talked down to because you're white. No, you're shoveling money into your pockets from these poor children under the guise of being a Christian organization and then pulling the race card to make them feel bad, like they're to rile them up. This was the most whack, weird, incohesive thing I've ever heard her say. What?
Strong men who are convicted, that will be good leaders, good husbands, good fathers like mine. God has created you for a purpose and a reason far greater than you and I will ever know on this side of heaven. But just know that as long as you're a part of Turning Point USA, you have us by your side. And
we don't want you inners in our organization. All you inners who follow Candace Owens, we don't want Rob Smith. Is that Rob? Is that who it is? Rob Smith? Rob Smith, we don't want you inners. We want our young white men. Okay, like that's fine, but also a weird thing to say. Like that is so strange. You're wrong. It's also weird. It's giving Serena Joy. Okay, it's giving Serena Joy from Handmaid's Tale. It's just like, what is going on? And by the way, if you are not Tiny Hat, you're still Goyim. So it doesn't matter. You think you're getting a pass because you're still Goyim. But maybe you're not. Maybe she's Tiny Hat. I don't know. Maybe that she feels comfortable saying that because she is. But being white will not save you in this country.
We will be there for you every step of the way. And just like this governor and many others that are out there, we got your back always. And we are honored and thrilled and just so grateful to God that you guys are a part of this family. So God bless you guys. God bless you. And thank you all for being here today. It means the world to me.
Said the quiet part out loud, finally. They said the quiet part out loud. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said what.
Yep, and TPUSA took that out, as they should. I mean, if you're talking about true, honest conservatism, it actually spans across racial classes. It spans across ethnicities. It spans across social classes. It's actually There we go. It's genuinely about small government and maximizing your life here in the United States of America. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about Candace's tweet. Lori Franchvie is a fraud, like the daughter she raised. The videos of her in a wheelchair are curated, and the influencers are lying about her having terminal cancer. There's not a shred of truth to that. That's what I want to talk about today. Lori Franchvie is still making LLCs in April of 2025. She can't be that sick if she's doing that. Or she's still money hungry, even on her deathbed when she's about to meet the judge on the great white throne, and has to account for her sins. And she's worried about money. And that too is strange, if you ask me. All right, you guys, there are 46 of you in here. Please like this video so it can reach the algorithm. And also, if you're not subscribed, that's like the most kindest thing you can do is just subscribe to my channel. I try and go live every other day, and then I post videos every other day. But yeah, that is it for today's live, you guys. I have to go to work. So I will see you guys in the next one.